Yes, definitely take notes. I feel like you could write a book on that. just the small little subtle words that can make or break the silence. If we get a text or call you right back, I'm with somebody, that can ease so many emotions.
It can.
And I know in the back of the people's minds, it's like, why should I be responsible for my mate's emotions? Because you're in a committed relationship, and that person is a part of your life, and you're a part of their life. So you have to take that extra initiative. To somebody that's walking down the street, you don't owe anything to, but someone that has opened their heart and really decided to share their love with you, I feel like it's a certain little obligation that they deserve to hear, like a little text, I'm busy, I can't answer right now, call you right back, is everything okay? Something like that can ease a lot of troubled words.
Just something. Even if you respond a whole bunch of letters and numbers, at least they got something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But that comes down to communication. Everything is, everything that we're talking about, a lot of them can be, steered by a lot of, better communication and being more, more aware of your surroundings, your partner. That's what it really comes down to.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Communications is key. But I feel like we're not trained that way.
That's why you have to go through experience.
I feel like a lot of times guys are a little struggle with communication. I'll say that. I think they struggle with communication, and women struggle with communicating too much. I don't think it's necessary to, like I said before, complain and speak on everything that's bothering you. But like you said, we as women, it's just natural for us to be like, something's bothering me, I want to talk about it, so get faster. And that don't work for a lot of guys. So I think guys got to work on and learn how to communicate a little better, and realizing that every conversation is not an argument. Even if we agree to disagree, if it wasn't an argument, we just had to we both had to get some stuff off our chest. Like, not assuming whenever your girlfriend is upset, y'all can't just have a conversation without it turning into an argument. Communication is not just, y'all arguing and bickering and going at each other. It's actually about listening and talking and having real conversations that might lead to disagreements.
No,
but it's the way that sometimes it's the way that you say it's the way that things are being said. It's the approach. So for example, let's go back to how that guy reacted to you when he called you and was going off on you. If he would have called you and he would have came at you in a different way, that conversation would have went totally different. So a lot of these arguments that we having, at least on my behalf. Because I said it to my girl, it's like, babe, it's not the way that it's not why you said it, it's how you said it to me. If you would have came, I'm one of those, like, if you come at me, I'm coming back at you, like, it is what it is, so whether I'm right or wrong, I'm coming back at you, like, we can take it there if you want to take it there, so for me, it's like, you got to come at me on a more of a different approach if you're trying to get to me the right way. If you're trying to get to the bottom of the situation, you can't come at me with the rah-rah, because I'm going to bring the rah-rah.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to come at me more subtle, and then I'm calm. When your teacher starts yelling at you right off rip, it's kind of like, how do you respond? Do you, I don't know. It can go either way. But really, the approach changes a lot. You say hi in a high-pitched voice versus you say hi and you seem like you're tired or you got an issue. That starts off the conversation wrong.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You said a mouthful. You said a mouthful. You really said a mouthful in so many different ways. 'Cause it's just like, I feel like your approach can make or break things. So I could have, and this is me just looking back, because I was juvenile, I was in college, I ain't know any better, but I could have, when he called, I could have addressed it, and maybe he was looking for that 5 minutes before for me to say, Dag, I'm sorry, I'm sorry I haven't been responding back, I'm sorry, but I was playing it cool, like everything was Joe cool, and he probably was sitting there like, oh, she really gonna act like it's cool? She really going. And he was just like, that monster was getting bigger and bigger the cooler I was acting. And then it was just like, it got real silent. I guess he was like, I can't hold it anymore. You must be out your goddamn mind. And I could have avoided it by communicating, back to communication. And then on the other thing, it makes me think of why it's so much domestic violence that's happening. So many guys and girls is being killed or abused in relationships because communication is hindered. You know what I mean? If you come at a guy in a very hostile way, he's automatically gonna go to you in a hostile way. And this whole facing off with men, I never been that tight, but I always heard women doing it. You know what I mean? Like if he escalates or something like that, he's clearly passionate about what he's expressing. So me as the listener, I need to back down, not give him what he's giving. You know what I mean? Because who knows? I know women, I done heard so many older men say, women are way more swift with their mouth, but men are automatically go swift with their hands because they can't retaliate verbally. It's not necessarily justifying it, but it gives you an understanding of how it escalates.
Exactly. But it's still, I mean, like you said, it's still no excuse for putting your hands on a woman. But on the flip side, I've had times when it's like, yo, I gotta get out of here. I'm going to the gym. You beat up on the bag, so I'll knock you out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
sometimes that's I'm saying it, bluntly, but it's just kind of that. It gets to that point. Sometimes it's like, all right, I see what you're doing, and I see, I don't see this going any. I don't see it turn out well either way. So sometimes when you realize that, you have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to be aware of yourself and how you feel about this. And then you have to be aware of the other person and how they're responding to you. So, for example, I might start off with a conversation and I'm calm. I'm giving them facts, speaking my mind in an openly way. And then they might come back and just ignore everything I done said. So then it's like, well, I'm not going to, it's hard for me to come back into again in a calm response when you just either ignored what I said or change the subject or change the conversation to what you wanted to talk about. Or, it's just tough. It's tough.
I hear her saying Mortal Kombat. Like you literally, so you going to ignore me? Oh, so you going to act like what I said didn't matter. Oh, okay. And you start talking to yourself and you got to coach yourself. I almost say that you got to be your best friend when you are about to lose it. And say, even if I can't call that girlfriend to help me vent. Like, I done have some of my girlfriends like, look, I'm about to get locked up. Because the way my thoughts is going, I don't trust it. So, let me just vent to you. And though they not going to take it as far as getting the cops involved, they know they're so angry that it's not going to be good for anyone. And I feel like what Shamira said earlier, having that girlfriend you can call or having that guy friend you can call and say, look, I'm about to pop. I need a sounding board. Mm-hmm. And that person not necessarily giving you a solution, but sometimes just there, just listening.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'm looking at it. That people out there, I like to argue, and I definitely don't like to keep going back and forth and different and nothing is being resolved. Like, you're not having me, I'm not having you because they're so upset. I'm not a big person, and when I notice that you're getting upset, I'm going to shut down. So that's why I always try to have it. Open up and just sit into her and complain about it. It's not, I'm not going to say I'm biased with her because she's my friend. Of course, she's going to be a little more biased towards me, but it'll give me an open perspective. Like, I have a really good friend, and she's a logical thinker. She's always been a logical thinker. Like, and she's the only female I know that thinks more logically than she does emotionally. And I always, call her and vent to her and, say how I feel. That way, by the time it's time to decide, by the time it's time to have that conversation, I, made up in my mind that we are going to have this conversation for one. For two, or we're not. Or for two, it gives me a chance to reevaluate how I'm going to approach the situation. Because like you said, the approach is major. If I hit you up, I get out that phone versus me calling my girlfriend. You still not on the phone, that's different. Like I see when you get home, I already vented it out to my girlfriend. I get home and I'm like, yeah, you know, I tried to get a good to a couple times today. Is everything all right? You know, it just gives you that chance to hit that steam off. Because that steam is what you're trying to push. And the team
Wait. I can't make out what you're saying. What you say that last part?
I said it gives you a chance, written to your friend or sister or somebody you talk or close to, gives you a chance to let that steam off. Because that steam is what gets you in trouble with your partner later on.
No, that's very true. That's very true.
A lot of people don't have, that person to always reach out to, number one. And number two, when we're older, when we do get a little bit older, a lot of people, like, I know we do have a lot of friends right now, but, later in life, when you're really in your relationship and you're just all into each other, you really don't, sometimes you don't want, a lot of people don't want nobody else in their business. A lot of people don't, they kind of just, they feel like that some people won't understand them, friend or not. They just won't understand them, so it's a lot of, I don't know. It is tough. I do hear what you're saying.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I understand where you're coming from. A lot of times you don't want anybody in your relationship. You're absolutely right. I don't want to talk to you about what me and my guys going through. Is not your business. No, you're absolutely right. I think you're right.
But I also talking to them is not wrong either. You're right. You're right for talking to them. But at the end of the day, you still have to fix that issue with your significant other. So you can go vent to your friends all you want. You can vent to the therapist all you want. But at the end of the day, you have to go back into that home environment and you have to make it work. So
definitely.
It comes to communication no matter what.
Yeah. I think the vetting process just allows you to calm down a little bit. And like you said, people that don't have that they can go to, you can find other therapeutic ways to, help you out. Meditation is a major thing that's becoming more and more popular. I meditate myself, and it's very helpful. But, you can find different things that work for you specifically, things that you find therapeutic. I'm a big reader. I love to read. I'll go read a book if I can't find somebody to talk to. Or if you can't talk to a friend, talk to a family member, your mom, if it's somebody older than you, that's somebody that's been in a relationship themselves for years, been in a marriage themselves for years, that could give you some insight. You know what I mean? I think if you could just find some way to let that steam off, that way when you do go back and talk to your partner, because you're right, it is very important that you still go back and handle that problem with your partner, just that steam is just not there, so the impact is not as bad. And you don't know how your partner's going to come off. They might come off a little crazy, and like you said, you don't want to reciprocate that, and now y'all back in the same space. If you're coming off crazy, I want to be even calmer so we can get to some sort of solution.
Yeah. I heard a guy say one time, I don't know where I was, but he said even sometimes allowing your mate to take in everything that's being said. Because sometimes when we don't get an initial response of how they feel or what they thinking, we be like, oh, okay, we start going off the handles. But actually sometimes giving your mate time to process what you say, sometimes their head is just not in the space that you're in. And you have to give them space enough to say, oh, okay, give me a second. Because I've heard that even in my relationship, is sometimes I'll address it that day. And then what'll happen is, give it time, the next day or the next hour or two, he'll see where he went wrong or where I went wrong. But up front, when I'm bringing it up, he don't see anything. He just have to sift through it and really see it from my angle. And then once he see it, then he can say it. You know what I mean? So it's also giving it that time too. But y'all brought up a key thing. You got to be mindful of who you vent to. Because some people are just like, all right, girl, go out and get money. Go out and get dudes. Go out and hit the club or something like that. And you be like, whoa, fam. Like, I really love this person.
Mm-hmm.
I really love them. I really want to be with them. But right now, I'm not thinking clear. And I just need that outlet. And it's healthy. It's actually healthy. They say it's almost... You should run the opposite direction if a person doesn't have friends or close connected people that they have close relationships with. Because it's like, all right, When they get in a relationship and it's all about you, then it becomes smothering. They don't have no outlets. They don't